G'day guys. Oh well, that big batch of 2SK 1334s that I found on Aliexpress turned out to be fake. Surprise, surprise. Damn it, I thought that was too good to be true, and it was. God, they looked the part. They had the part number written on them. I had a good look. It said 2SK 1334, but there's some telltales. And I had a bit of a deeper dive. And at the moment, if you can see here, you can probably see on the oscilloscope that I have this. This is a GP 3500, which I resurrected just for this test. And basically, you can see it's transmitting away. I've got a sniffer coil near the um, detector coil, and you can see the transmitter pulses there on the oscilloscope. The detector's working, and what I've got it wired up to, if you can see here, I can probably zoom this in a bit. We'll get in here and we'll zoom in a bit. I've got two of the 2SK1334s on that bit of circuit board. Just got the gates tied to ground through some high value resistors. I don't know what they are, probably 10K or something, whatever. And I've just taken the tap points off this board, drain and, basically drain. We've got drain, source and gate. I've just got it soldered to the negative of the coil onto the board, and that is where the source is soldered onto, and basically it'll act as if those devices are in the detector blocking the flyback voltage. So at the moment it's sitting on a genuine Hitachi 2SK1334 MOSFET. There it is, sitting there. Now I tested these MOSFETs, just a static test. They tested perfectly, right? But let's apply voltage to them, and we'll see what happens. What I'll do now, I'll just turn the detector off, and I'll disconnect the drain connection on the Hitachi one, and I will connect the drain connection onto um, the mystery bag. We'll call it the mystery bag. I'll just put my little 4 eyes on so I do a very nice, neat job doing this. You don't want it to fall off. Now, all I've done is I've just connected to the other MOSFET. Now let's turn the detector on. Oh, whoop, no output. Oops, no output. Turn off. Turn the detector back on. That transistor's avalanched. Basically, it has crashed under voltage, and the detection circuitries, the safety detection circuitry in this GP is saying, oh, that MOSFET has failed short circuit. So we better detect that, and we'll just turn off anything going on in the detector. So it's basically has just shut the detector down. So those MOSFETs do not work. They are not 2SK1334s, and I should have realised, because when I had a good look at it, even though the numbers are on there, uh, a couple of rubs with my finger and they came off. So that's the bag they came in. There you go. And they're all fake. Damn it. That really irks me off. So, but it's funny. I hate buying things like MOSFETs on AliExpress. I really hate it. It is such a roll of the dice that you're going to get the correct item. And it's been proven time and time again. Now, I bought these. These are gate drivers. I bought these, right, because they're dirt cheap. And sometimes you say, well, I'll roll the dice and see what we get. And these are, if I remember rightly, which one they are, they're the IRS4427S, which means that what goes on the input comes out the output in the same polarity. It's not asked around or anything like that. And these are dirt cheap. Oh God, I could like one tenth for 1/20th of the price. Nothing wrong with them. Work perfectly, right? Stress test them. They can source and sync 1.5 amps. Um, I've run them at a megahertz. Didn't care less. Ran beautifully. So this is with your Aliexpress. You get those, and you say, okay, well, hopefully they're right. They are. They're actually genuine components. Work like a charm. Okay. These things, because now these are really hard to get. These are now out of production, and guess what? I think what they do is that they say, oh, well, they're out of production, and we'll better go and rub the numbers off all these other things that are probably rated for 30 volts, and we'll put another number on it. And why do it? They're selling these for 20 cents each. What a profit. It's not worth it. It's ridiculous. Stop doing this stuff. I was going to use a better word than that, but stop doing this. It's just embarrassing. It gives AliExpress such a bad name, and it's just not picked up upon. It's just bizarre. I mean, continue to sell this stuff. Um, if I buy anything like opamps or anything, I definitely do not buy them through AliExpress. No, definitely not, unless they're 741s or something like that, which it's the lowest performing op amp in the world. I don't think you could fake it. And maybe the piece of plastic with 8 legs sticking out of it, nothing else. I don't know. But if certain things, you know, um, most of the calls out, most of the components I get, like even these surface mount resistors, I buy them through Mouser in the US. Most of my stuff I buy through Mouser. I've never ever had a problem, but there's other big companies out there. I have had fakes come through. I won't mention the name because it's a really, really big one. It actually shocked me. And when I took them to task over it, they sent me a picture of something similar to what they sent me. He said, "Oh no, these are fine." I went, "No, they're not." So it's got to be wary. I was having a look here, some other bits and pieces. I did get something that was really obscure the other day. I was trying to work out what it was. Oh, here we go. These things here, those 3SK 293 UF, they're basically dual gate FETs, and they were very, very cheap for what they are. They actually work exactly the same as the other dual gates in these detectors. Very, very similar specifications. You're only using them to make the gates of the MOSFETs behave in the transition from transmit to receive or receive to transmit. So it gives it bias. And these things that you can, just work exactly the same. Nothing wrong with them. So I just got 50 of those sitting in there and check them. Always pick one out from the middle of the reel too, by the way, and put it in circuit, checked it, and it works exactly the same. No problem whatsoever. Same, basically near enough the same specification. So you can replace those with the Siemens Part 2 or Infineon, or whatever they call themselves now, and away you go. So yeah, it's real hit and miss. I was really, really disappointed. I have thousands of these genuine ones, Hitachi ones, or Renesas components, because Renesas bought out the operations of Mitsubishi Semiconductor and Hitachi Semiconductor and stuck it all under one umbrella. But yeah, there's not that much demand for 200-volt rated MOSFETs anymore, especially if you're looking at signal MOSFETs. They're all jumped the bandwagon. They've gone to 600, 650 volt stuff. They've all gone uh, into the electric vehicle market. So all the MOSFETs are becoming higher and higher voltage. And with that higher and higher voltage, your RDS on in a lot of cases is not as low as what it should be for the same if it was a lower voltage device. And the other thing that goes up too is your input capacitance and your output capacitance. And output capacitance is a big issue on these. It slows down transition times and stores energy. And also some of your signal disappears down the gate if it's a high capacitance gate. And also it can just leak across the device um, back onto the input and all sorts. So, and it's also coupling with the gate. So you also got this higher RDS on as well. So not good. So that's a little test setup anyway. It's very easy to do. You can do it there. You can probably see I just tacked it on. I just took the existing, I don't want to solder on and off the board here. It just weakens it. The lamination on the pads will eventually fall off, and it's a yeah, you just don't want to do it. So I always do everything on a sacrificial piece of board and just tack a couple of wires on, tack it back and forth, and um, test things in operation. And that's where the emperor has no clothes, because when it's actually under operating conditions, they fail. So very simple test to find out that, yep, I got stooged. So I've already printed out my return label. Lucky that they've got a good system. You fill out your return label and send it back it goes to Lidcombe in New South Wales on a freebie ride through Australia Post, and you get refunded. But what, you know, why? Right, reminds me of years ago I bought, I saw these nice opamps, and this is the only time I bought any opamps on Aliexpress, and it was a selection of nice looking op amps. I bought them all. I reckon they're all LM 741s. Oh, gee, they went to great trouble to relabel. Basically, they grind them down and they just basically screen print them all, and with whatever they want to put on them, and say that's that, and they sell it to unsuspecting people who either put them in their drawers for spare parts and never use them, and by the time they get round to using them, it's too late, or um, yeah, they throw them in the bin out of disgust. But the thing is, you've got to return them. You've got to make a big issue of it and get your money back and return it, so they stop doing it. Oh, it's absolutely painful, you know. I'll tell you what, you can buy resistors out of Aliexpress. They will be fine. Resistors, chip capacitors. Um, I've checked chip capacitors that I've bought from there before, and you think that, oh, they're selling seconds. No, they're actually all within spec. Chip capacitors are fine. Chip resistors are fine. Uh, and I've even bought some. It said, oh yeah, 1%. I said, oh, okay, here we go, 1%. No, I went through them and I checked them on my little Fluke multimeter up there, which is very, very accurate, and they're all well within spec, no problem whatsoever. But when it comes to semiconductors, be wary. It tends to be op amps, don't touch them. Don't touch op amps with a barge pole. Specific um, function ICs, I have not had a problem. If it's meant to be like MOSFET gate drivers, not a problem. If they're meant to be a any of the 4000 CMOS or 7400 series, any of that stuff, not a problem. It is what it is. You can't mislabel it and say it's something it's not. It's the function will be totally wrong. But with these any cheap transistors, your BC 557s or BC 108s and stuff like that, usually um, not a problem. But I don't use a lot of stuff like that anymore. We don't use those through-hole legged transistors. We use surface mount ones, and I do not buy them anyway. I don't buy that sort of stuff through Aliexpress. I buy it through DigiKey or Mouser. Uh, a lot of high quality resistors, stuff like that. If I've got to use 0.01% resistors, metal films, I will get them through Mouser. I will get some through Radio Spares, UK company. I will get them through DigiKey. I won't usually, or sometimes I'll use Arrow, but most of the time when you're buying this stuff, if it's very garden variety generic stuff, you can get it on the AliExpress. But when you get into components that are a little bit hard to get, or you just can't find them anywhere else, and they turn up there, be very wary, because I can tell you right now, those 2SK 1334s are not 2SK 1334s. So I'm still lucky. I have two reels of the genuine ones. I think there was 2,000. I think there's 2,500 per reel, and I've still got probably 4,000 left of the genuine ones. But it was just, and like I saw it, I thought, oh, that's an opportunity. If they are the right parts and they were 20 cents each, I'll buy some. And if they were the right components, well, then I was going to, buy a lot more. But no, I bought a whole stack of BF 908s as well, which they've been out of production for years and years and years. And I saw them pop up on AliExpress a while ago, and I said, "Oh God, here we are." They were cheap, so I took a bit of a gamble, and I got them, and they were the genuine device, but they're all unsoldered off circuit boards. They all had the glue from pick and place machine glued down the board on the back of them. So yeah, but you know, either you can look at it as a bonus. You say, well, it was in a circuit board, it must have worked, or did the circuit board come out of service because the part failed? And they just they must heat them up with infrared and just pop them off the board, because I checked them, they're fine, they all work. So I'd use them only for repairs. I don't use them in a production situation. You would never do that in a million years, because say if some of them have failed and that's why things were taken out of service, put buggered parts into your brand new boards, and it's going to cause you headaches. You don't do stuff like that. So just use it, the odds and sods, bits and pieces for repair work. Things like op amps. I bought, it pains me, because when you buy op amps, you got to buy them, uh, to get a good price, at least 100. And just to get a tube of op amps for these detectors is going to cost you $1,000 or around that sort of price. So the more you buy, there was one time there I'd bought a whole heap of AD797s to just have. I got a stock, a big stock up of them, and I think I spent $2,500 just on having a supply of opamps. I bought them directly through analog devices. Actually, um, I have means to buy directly from analog, so it wasn't that. It was still painful, but it wasn't like paying through the nose if you go to some of the other resellers. They go on a bit of a gouge, some of them, on those sort of items. Sometimes not. And if you want a really good price on that sort of stuff in uh, quantity, I would always go to Arrow Electronics. For some reason, they can absolutely slaughter the prices what the others charge. Um, so I just let you know that. So anyway, that's the story with the fake ICs. I'll show you something funny though. Even if I get onto this and make sure I did turn it off, yes I did. I'll just take this off and I'll just take the drain connection off, and I'll get the multimeter here. I'll just clip it on the board. I'll put the multimeter on. I'll stick it in diode mode. So I better zap that out a little bit so you can see it. Oh, there we go. How about I just do that? Okay, you can see the number 1 sitting there. So I'll stick that there. I'll don't want it on the clip lead, and I'll put it on the drain of the one that failed, or was failing, and you can see that we still have our body diode there, 0.654 of a volt drop across that. So all it does is avalanche and just shut the detector down. So it's not a 200 volt device. It's probably 30 volts or something like that. We don't know what it is. I mean, I could put on a variable supply and keep winding up the voltage until the smoke comes out, but it's pointless. And on the other one here, that's interesting. That's a genuine one. Maybe I got my polarities around the wrong way. But yeah, that one there. Maybe it's doing it double. Hang on a sec. I'll just put the negative lead onto the board. Oh, there goes the phone ringing. Something interesting going on there, but I'll have to look into it. Yep. Hang on a sec. David's calling me. Yeah, I was just making a video. Yeah. Okay, he's coming around, so I better get off my video then. Okay, I've got visitors coming, guys. So that's the end of that. Just beware Aliexpress catches.